a name for this change. We call it the first quarter. Now as the days go on, the moon again changes its shape. And this is one that I'm sure that some of you recognize. You'd say it's a full moon, wouldn't you? But if you look very closely, you'll see that it isn't quite full. It's only about 11 days old, and if you look closely on your left, you'll see that it isn't completely rounded. Now let's see the moon as it is when it is full. There we are. It's a complete circle. Now we can see the moon in its entirety. This is the face of the moon that we think of when we talk about the moon. This is the part that we always see. Now remember yesterday I mentioned that the full moon, when we see the full moon, we think we're seeing everything, but we only see about 60% of it. The other 41 or 40% is not completely visible to us, and we won't know until someone gets up there with a camera and photographs the other side for us. All right, moving still further, the moon now has reached its fullness, and it's beginning to lose its shape. Now the moon is about 17 days old, and the right side is beginning to disappear from us. Now the next change of the moon is when the moon is about 20 days old. And you see here, the complete left side illuminated, and the right side appears dark. Now, another name for this phase would be the last quarter. Now proceeding still further, the moon is becoming increasingly smaller, and the moon now is about 23 days old. It's growing smaller and smaller in the sky. Now the next photograph that we're going to see is the moon as it is almost completely disappearing from the heavens. The name of this moon is the waning crescent. And incidentally, a couple of days ago, if you had looked up into the sky, of course you'd have to look up in the early morning hours, this is what you would have seen, the waning crescent. This then is the various changes of the moon. I hope you enjoyed these photographs with me because they were very good photographs, and they did point out exactly how the moon changes during the month. Now, let's go over to our felt board and take a look again, this time with models of our moon, and go through these various changes. I hope while I'm mentioning this that you have your textbooks with you, because these models that I'm going to show you on the felt board are reproductions of the ones you would find on page 100 of your text. Let me put them up for you, and we'll go through them again. All right, here we are. Now the first one that I'm going to put up is completely dark. Do you remember the name of that one? Well, let's see if you got the right one. All right, did you guess that it was new moon? Fine. Let's try the next one. What would you call this one? Remember, I had a special name for this. I hope also that you remember that the moon always lights up on its right side first. That is, your right. All right, the name of this is called the waxing crescent. The word waxing in this case means to get larger, to grow larger. The waxing crescent is the second phase of the moon. All right, let's try the third one now. Which one did you say? That's right. That's the first quarter. First quarter. Now which one? I'm sure you won't have any trouble identifying that one, will you? This is the full moon. Now that just leaves us two more. Now that we've reached the maximum size, as big as the moon is going to get, the moon is now going to get smaller, isn't it? All right then, let's make it smaller. Oops, almost had it backwards there, didn't I? This is the last quarter. Now we just have one more remaining. The moon is going to get very, very small. Here again, we're going to have a crescent moon, but we have to have another word in front of it. This is the waning crescent. Now we have them all. Let's go through them again from top to bottom. All right, are you ready? Maybe you'd like to say these with me as we go through them. New moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, full moon, last quarter, waning crescent. Here then are the 6 major changes of the moon. Now, of course, there would be changes in between, wouldn't there? Because we wouldn't have a sudden change from one to the other. This is sort of a gradual thing. Now, how long does it take for these changes to occur? Well, if we watch the moon very closely, we will see that the changes that occur in the moon take approximately 29 and a half days. That means that from the time we first see the new moon, which incidentally, I'm going to give you a clue, is tomorrow, until the time the full moon occurs, is about 2 weeks, or 14 days.